Quick question. How important was for you to knock out your opponent in your last fight, and what did it do for your mental going forward?
It definitely brought me back. But I knew I just had to stay in the gym working. I knew that I couldn't, lay off or take layoffs or anything. I was in the gym working on my craft, working on getting better, working on my IQ, working on a lot of things because, there's a short period of boxing, and I needed that fight. I needed that to happen the way it did, for sure, 100%. I would have been upset if it never ended like that, So, but like I said, me putting in the work, me keeping God first, and me keeping my head down, I wiped them off.
Your style evolved from amateur to professional, where you were more of a boxer before, and now you're more of a puncher. Did you feel like the string of knockouts did good and bad for you, where you became super popular because of the first round knockouts, but then it put this pressure on you to keep doing that?
Yeah, it actually did. Before I used to be like, nah, but it actually did. I wouldn't take it back because it got me all this popularity. But and then I do hit fucking hard. Like I hit very hard, so. It's not like it was just a phase or nothing, and it's like, oh, this dude don't really got power.
No, it can't be, right? After so many of them, right?
I hit hard. Like, I do hit hard. Like, they say I got country and bunking strength. Like, the guys from the country?
Yeah, farmer strength.
Yeah, I got farmer strength. So I think it like hurt me a little bit because, I didn't get those rounds in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't, like, first 16 fights, the type of experience a fighter would get is insane.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that. I had first round knockouts, 16 rounds. Like, come on, bro. So when I started not knocking people out, it was like, I was actually like gaining experience, bro. Like I tore my bicep. At the same time, I got dropped in the 9th round, which it wasn't really a real drop. You know what I'm saying? I was off
like
balance.
A flash knockdown?
Yeah, it was like I was off balance. So, and then I was beating the shit out of him with a tore bicep. So, like stuff like that I had to go. You have to go through shit like that in your career to become a legend in the sport.
Yeah.
If you don't have that experience, if you don't go through those experiences, and it does happen to you, you're gonna break, bro.
You don't know how to react.
You're not gonna know how to react. And then not only that, you go through some at a high level, you fuck, bro.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to handle that pressure, bro. There's 20, 30,000 people screaming in the arena.
Absolutely.
And you tear your bicep, you're gonna lose your mind, bro.
Yeah, you gotta think.
You know what I'm saying?
Now let me ask you, you made a couple of good moves, and boxing is more chess than sports sometimes, right? When you signed with Matchroom, I know you were looking for that Canelo fight. How did your strategy have to change and your goals when you saw that Canelo move to PBC? How did your goals change then?
It didn't really change, you know what I'm saying? I know that wherever he goes, wherever he lands, you know what I'm saying, we can make the fight happen.
The fight's gonna be big enough eventually anyway.
Bro, listen, there's no fighter right now at 168 that's really pushing, like, as far as like ticket sales and that's good and I can fight, you know what I'm saying? I'm Puerto Rican, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got a whole island behind me and I can fight. And I got punching power, you know what I'm saying? So, and I've been boxing for 20 years, bro. Like I've been in the sport for a long time. I've been around for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? I seen so much. So, cool, granted, he got all this experience, but hey, this boxing, I gotta get my experience. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go in there and jump in, win. And I at the end of the day, fuck the money. I want to get legacy. Not fuck the money, but
the money will come, right?
Yeah, the money will come, but it's about legacy for me. You know what I'm saying? It's about legacy and just creating that band, just bringing something to the sport. Puerto Rico versus Mexico. You had Trinidad versus
Vargas,
Oscar De La Hoya. Trinidad versus bro, them shits that was insane, bro.
Yeah, that was insane.
And I was like, look, like to this day we still talking about those fights, and it was Puerto Rico's like we still to this day, 20 years later, we still bringing up those fights. We still watching those fights, man. So obviously it's for a reason, and I know if Canelo's a smart guy, so he knows where he's gonna pick his cherry out.
Speaking of Mexican fighters, another Mexican fighter a lot of people wanted to see you with is Jaime-Munguia.
Yeah.
How close did that fight get to being made, and why do you think that didn't happen?
I was trying to make that fight happen last year, right? I was pushing for it. They had offered Ryder, but then it was like, that Ryder wasn't gonna fight me. So I was like, okay. So what's up with this Munguia fight? We sat down, we spoke about it. I didn't like the numbers that they was offering us at all. Like the numbers was just too low, like ridiculously low. And I was like, nah, we're not doing it. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? We can marinate it like later during the year, 2024, 2025, but where it could be a much larger number. But for that caliber of a fight, I feel like they shot too low. And I didn't like it, so I was like, you know what, we're just gonna move forward. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he moved forward, he fought Ryder, you know, and then I fought Patrick McCrory, so that's how it went. But I know that fight could be made anytime soon, this year, next year. You know, these are two big fights that could happen. You know, you got Canelo, you got Benavidez, you got Munguia. Like, it's at this time of boxing, bro, it's about making the best fights happen and the big fights happen. You know what I'm saying? And money fights happen. Because at the end of the day, bro, I could go in the ring tomorrow and I never come out, and I go to the hospital and I end up like my bro Bridget Cologne. You know what I'm saying? You see Bridget Cologne, so there's a short period of time in boxing. You got to make the best of it.
So what's next for you? Like, you're positioning yourself now for a title shot. What's next for you?
Right now, you know, obviously I'm the mandatory for the WBA. Canelo has that. We just waiting for next week. He's fighting next week, so you know I'm gonna be out there, you know, showing them support. Because at the end of the day, is legacy for them as well. You know, there's two Mexican big stars going up against each other. You know, that's you don't really hear nothing like that. So you know, I'm gonna be out there, and then obviously the winner, you know, hopefully, you know, me and Canelo can make something happen for sure.
Great. And last question for you. You talked about bringing a lot of communities together, different communities. How important is it for you to fight in Puerto Rico, fight in New York City again, and of course fight in other spots too, Vegas?
You know, I feel like I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I can fight anywhere. Like, my name is that big, where, you know, obviously we get good promotion. I can fight anywhere. You can put me anywhere and we'll sell out. But you know, I want to fight in Puerto Rico. Like, that's a dream for me. Like, one of my dreams was to fight in New York at the Madison Square Garden. I did that already.
You did,
You know, I did that plenty of times. And you know, main evented Puerto Rican Day weekend. So you know, I already like conquered that. You know, my next step is fighting in Puerto Rico. I want to go out there and just, you know, turn up.
And definitely Barclays Center as well, right? I saw you at the Barclays Center. You're from Brooklyn, right?
Barclays. When I went to the Barclays for the
that was a great environment,
bro. What? They was jumping on me like right on right, bro. Like, they nobody was getting on. Everybody was just jumping on me. And I just looked around. I said, I can sell this shit out. Like,
absolutely.
Bro, if I can't sell out the Barclays Center, I'm quitting boxing, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time.
I appreciate it.